This is Now or Never. Hercules Gomez, Mauricio Pedrosa. Very happy to join. Well, actually, former two-time UFC champ, Olympic gold medalist, ladies and gentlemen, enjoying retirement, Henry Cejudo on the show. How's retirement, man? You look good.
First of all, allow me to correct you.
Oh,
former and always will be the flyweight champion, the Olympic champion, and the best.
Well, you're retired, you know? You are retired.
Those dudes are fighting for gold and silver. You know, they can fight. My scratch, man, because I left the dudes have the swagger as Triple C.
All right, Triple C, you got pretty much every title you can that you've wished to fight for. Let's talk about that actual fight in defense, right? It's Dominick Cruz. That Dominick Cruz fight, there's a lot of bad blood between you guys. You guys go in there. It's a great stoppage by you. Were you, one, surprised that it went down that way? And two, he complained that Keith Peterson, the referee, smelled of alcohol and cigarettes. Did you smell that? And what do you make of these comments?
No, absolutely not, man. I think Dominick Cruz is absolutely ludicrous, man. If anything, I've seen Keith Peterson around quite a bit, man. One, I don't even think he smokes or even drinks, and then two, from what I've heard, he's actually Mormon. So those are all complete lies from Dominick Cruz. So
why would he say it then?
Because people they can't handle the truth, man. They can't handle the truth, and I think Dominick Cruz is just another one that couldn't. Just like TJ, man, they can't accept defeat. You know, when I got knocked out by Demetrius Johnson, I went over and I shook his hands and said, man, that is one bad dude. If he's able to do that to me, respects, give respect where it's given. But that just shows you, man. People, it doesn't matter how old you are, you can still be a brat.
Henry, why did you retire, and when did you actually make that decision? Did you know you were going to retire before you jumped into the octagon to face Dominick?
Yeah, well, my original plan was to defend. I wanted to defend both belts. My original plan was to fight. I beat Demetrius Johnson, the greatest flyweight of all time, even above me, man. I beat TJ Dillashaw, the greatest bantamweight of all time. Beat him, and then my last one was Jose Aldo. So I wanted to win a bout. I wanted to beat the former 145-pound champ. So that means I'm going through flyweight, bantamweight, and featherweight. You know what I'm saying? So when people say who is the greatest, lightweight at least, or from the lighter, they will always say Henry Cejudo. But unfortunately, this whole thing with COVID happened, and you couldn't do anything about it, man. So I had to switch opponents, and I went with Dominick. And the only reason why I did go with Dominick is because he shook me one time when I was gonna fight Demetrius Johnson. I had called him to ask for advice, man. You know what I'm saying? Because he's the last man to beat him, I believe, at that time, and I wanted to know how, if there's any points that he could give me. And he was rude over the phone a little bit, and then he saw me in person. This is after I lost, and he kind of just shook me wrong, man, in front of the people, like in the van. And at first I thought maybe I'm just overreacting. But then I thought about it. I'm just like, no, man. I says, you don't do that to Triple C. You don't do that to anybody. So he was on my hit list since then, and I was happy to take him out in 2 rounds, to say the least.
Now, going back to the decision to retire, what was the biggest factor in making that decision? Were you bored? Was there nobody else to face, or did you just have enough of, some might say, the disrespect from UFC?
No, it's actually none of the above. I just think I've accomplished so much. I mean, I'm 33 years old. I won the Olympics at the age of 21.
You got a girlfriend now.
I got my second, my first UFC title at the age of 31. I defended both my belts, but at the age of 33. I mean, what else is there to do for Henry Cejudo? And on top of that, as you mentioned, I got my first girlfriend.
Hello, Amanda.
Welcome. Good to see you. Yay. So you're enjoying retirement. Yeah, that's pretty clear.
I'm enjoying my retirement with this hot babe, my Brazilian goddess next to me.
How does Amanda feel that you're willing to bet your 2 belts, your Olympic gold medal, and your first ever girlfriend to come back and face Alexander Volkanovski?
Yeah, how do you feel, baby? How do you feel? She's shy. She doesn't want to talk. She says, I'm gonna repeat. I'm gonna translate. She's gonna tell me. Hold on, guys. Okay, she said, I have absolutely 100% belief in Triple C. And if he wanted to sacrifice me and all my cousins too, that we believe it too. So that's that, man. I'm not confident that I would take that overgrown midget, Alexander Volkanovski, and I can bend the knee no more than 2 rounds. And you can believe that.
Now we had him here on the show, and he said before he didn't take you seriously because he didn't want to hold up a whole division. He didn't want to hold up that bantamweight division. He says now you're gone and done with that division. If you want to step into his division, he'll take you seriously. Have there been any talks with the UFC? What have you heard from the UFC about this?
I'm not even chasing him. I'm not going to chase him, and I'm not going to chase Alexander Volkanovski. I mean, the only reason why I'm even answering you guys' question because you guys are asking me. But you know what I'm saying? What it's going to take, it's going to take all powers. It's going to take them. It's going to take the UFC. Alexander Volkanovski actually wanted to humble me and wanted to fight me because I've been calling him off for a minute now, and he's been biting the bait. So if he wants to come get it, man, he can get it. Like I said before, man, I will bet my gold medal, my 2 belts, and my first girlfriend that I will beat Alexander Volkanovski, that overgrown midget.
What if he loses to Max Holloway at UFC 251? Will you still be interested in fighting him?
I am with Holloway too because I feel like Alexander Volkanovski did a great job with the blueprint. Alexander Volkanovski is not that much taller than me, and I saw the way he fought Max Holloway, and I still feel like for me, I think Max Holloway would be a more dangerous fight because of his height or whatnot. But still, I'd be open to that challenge too. But as of right now, I'm not even thinking about Holloway just for the fun fact that Alexander Volkanovski is a champ right now.
Right. Let's talk about that fight with Holloway and Volkanovski. If Max is able to check those kicks, how different do you think this fight is going to be?
Every time I see how opponents train, or when it comes to the highest level, man, it's all about game planning and tactics. Is who's going to adjust, man. If Max Holloway comes out the same way that he came in and just strikes and no takedowns and just uses his length, then the speed of getting inside and getting outside of Volkanovski is going to win again. So I feel like if Max Holloway could make those adjustments, like if I was in his position, because it happened to me before, I left all my coaches, man. I fired everybody because the way I felt is I'm in the hurt business. And if you can't help me in my business, and if you can't make me the best, then I got to find the best. I'm not saying his corner is like that, but I would add something to it because there's something missing to his camp. So, yeah, sorry about that. Okay. So you know what I'm saying? So that's that's the way I see it. So if he's able to make those adjustments and bring that appointed person into his camp, then I think because Volkanovski did it. He left his gym. He went out to City Kickboxing, and he made those adjustments. Now, my question is for Max Holloway: what did you do to become better? What did you do to make sure that for what you did in the first fight, that it's not going to happen again in the second fight?
Peter Yan and Jose Aldo are gonna go for your belt. Well, again, you don't have that belt anymore, man. You're retired. Is that the right matchup? Is that the fight you wanted to see in the bantamweight title?
No, not really. I think the people that really deserve that title would probably be, I would say Peter Yin, whatever his damn name is, and Aljamain Sterling Silver. Sterling Silver, man, because that's exactly what they're gonna fight for. They're gonna Jose Baldo and that Peter Yin. They're gonna be fighting for silver and bronze, man. That's the way I see it.
That division is all of a sudden pretty crazy. Some very interesting names. You have Aljamain Sterling, you've got Jan, you've got guys in there like a name all of a sudden that maybe doesn't have the resume, but is very popular, like Sugar Shane O'Malley. You got Garbrandt. Who's the next big star in that division?
I think the next. Oh my God, that's a good question, man. Because there's a bunch of them. I think Sean O'Malley is completely overrated. Really? I don't think he has. I think he hasn't fought nobody. They haven't put him up against a wrestler. Every time they ask Sean O'Malley, who do you want next? Well, I want another striker. You know what that tells me as a competitor? I'm thinking outside the box that this dude does not want any smoke up against the cage. This dude doesn't train with people that could grind him. And actually, if I was to ever fight him, I would hurt him. I would grind him out. I would keep him for like maybe 3 to 4 rounds and just hurt him, because I'm not going to strike with it, because I will give him some credit. He does understand distance and he's very precise. But that's about it. Put him up against a minor league wrestler, and we'll see how good – a minor league, and I'm telling you. We'll see how good he really is.
Another fighter who has mentioned your name is not a part of the MMA family. It's a boxer, and it's Ryan Garcia. Does that fight interest you? Is that a name big enough for you to come out of retirement and face him?
Oh, absolutely, man. I think Ryan Garcia would be the easiest payday Triple C would ever get. It would be a lot bigger than any person I did in the UFC. So if there's any fight that intrigues me between staying retired, between fighting that big-headed, overgrown midget, Alexander Volkanovski, or fighting the golden girl, Ryan Garcia, I like the payday. And plus it's easy money because he's fought nobody. He's another Sean O'Malley with a padded record. It makes me sick.
But would you box him, or would you bring him to MMA?
Well, I had thought about this because the only reason I would box him, I would box him.
Okay.
But I was thinking about this as mixing a little bit of MMA, but it would be more geared towards boxing, so the gloves would be different. So it would be an actual boxing glove. Vitor Belfort was showing me these gloves that he has, and he wants me to fight him with these. It's a 10-ounce glove, just how they would fight. And with this glove, is like your hand is able to come out, so you're able to grab wrists and you're able to collar type people. So if he wants to do MMA of some sort, okay, let's bring it down the middle then. Let's box and let's clinch and let's grab each other. Let's see how things go. So then it's even. So then he's not just blowing smoke and trolling. You know what I'm saying? Because we all know that Ryan Garcia wouldn't make it past 30 seconds with Triple C.
Well, he actually said if you don't knock him out in MMA, you're a bum. What do you think about this?
Yeah, but that's a little kid speaking. That's a little. Of course, dude. I'm gonna choke you out, man. I'm gonna get on top and I'm gonna throw some elbows on you. So I'm not gonna knock you out cold, because I'm gonna make sure you're conscious and you're feeling every limb of my body, my elbows, my knees, so you can smell me a little bit, princess.
We follow you on social media, and you've been pretty close to Mike Tyson. What have you seen from him? And is it crazy? Is it crazy to think that he might actually go back and fight, let's say, a top 10 heavyweight in the world in the near future?
Yeah, man. For those who, Uncle Mike, like what's happening?
Uncle Mike,
I call him Uncle Mike because I have the right, man. He takes me under his wing, and he's God, man. I think for everything that's happened in his life, through drugs, through losing his daughter. He lost his daughter at one point. For those who know his story, through the drugs, through the accident, through him being in jail. It's almost like, people somehow come to a realization of, what they had and how much they want to bring that out in them. I think Mike Tyson is that person, man. I can tell you, I was with him about a week and a half ago at his gym, and man, Mike Tyson looks like I think he's ready to fight for a world title, man, to fight against one of those guys. Bring on Deontay Wilder, bring on Anthony Joshua, bring on Tyson Fury, because Mike Tyson is back and he ain't taking no prisoners.
Is this all smoke that we're hearing about an exhibition between Tyson Fury and that Mike Tyson is asking for $500 million, $500 million? Is there any truth to this?
No, that sounds like far-fetched money, dude. That's like, nobody's that big. You know what I'm saying? But if people want to believe that, then they can ask for $500 million or whatever they want. But I will say this now: if Mike Tyson does fight, Mike Tyson's gonna make somebody rich.
Mm-hmm. What's the craziest thing you've experienced now with Uncle Mike?
With Uncle Mike, man, I was with him, and I spent a lot of time with him. I was actually with him for 2 full weeks, man. I think he probably got sick of me. From flying to state to Florida to Minnesota, California, and then to Antigua. But probably the coolest experience that I've had, and we've heard Mike talk about, is the Toad.
Right.
It's
DMT.
this toe that yes, the DMT is this toe that hibernates for 11 months out of the year, and you have to make sure to get it right before it comes out to extract all its venom, and somehow you're able to smoke this venom, and it's a hallucinogen. And Mike Tyson's always talked about it if you listen to his podcast, and he's always like, "Come on, Henry, you got to do it, man. You got to do it with me, little bro, man. You got to do it, man." And I'm just like, man, he talked about it so much. I was like, Mike, let's do it, man. So we got on the plane, went to Antigua, and I saw Mike do it, and it scares you a little bit, but you also know that Mike goes from a 0 to 100.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I don't want to get into his portion because I think he needs to say that. But for me, having this experience with Mike and the Toad, it was something that really brought me to my childhood love, to my first love, which brought me back to my mom. And I remember when I was a little kid, I used to be the youngest. I'm one of 7 kids, man. And before my little sister was born, I was the youngest, and it just, I slowly got kicked out as the youngest because my mom had to take care of the newbie, and it was beautiful because it brought me back to my mom's first love, man. And it was so great, man. Cause I'm a person that doesn't cry. Like I don't cry. Like I'm emotional. I'm very attached to my emotions. But to get me to cry, man, is like Jesus, man. You must have really said that really hurt me. But I remember waking up from the experience of doing the Toad, and I remember being like, I was surrounded by like a bunch of people, and I was conscious and everything. I just started like crying. I just letting go of everything. And, like, there's a lot of things that we have built up inside as humans. And, Mike Tyson, he credits a lot of his experiences that he's had with, to the Toad. I mean, he was like, dude, I was on the wrong way. I was doing crazy drugs, and he said he did the Toad, and the Toad just changed his life completely, man.
How long does this last, Henry?
It's about 15 minutes, man. So it's a 15-minute rocket launch. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you reach a place of that you're like you're almost it's an out of body experience. It's almost like jump in a pool, close your eyes, and imagine if you can stay in the pool with your eyes closed for 15 minutes and be so scared, but yet so peaceful at the same time. Like it's almost like, man, you prefer that stage. Like it gives you a glimpse of death, and it pulls on like the biggest insecurities or the biggest heartfelts that you may have. It pulls it all out, man. And it makes you just realize, and it gets in depth with you like you've never felt before.
You mentioned, I've read this, that you were looking for answers, and this is why you did this. What answers did you come to find with this?
Yeah, I was looking more like answers for business or my retirement, just the future decisions that I'm gonna end up making. But it brought me to something much better. It brought me to something much bigger. It brought me to family. Who is my creator, man? Like who provided for me? You know what I'm saying? I grew up quick, man. I left home at the age of 17. As a high school kid, I left my mom and my friends and just everybody behind to chase a dream. Me and my brothers. So it was man, it's definitely something that you probably don't talk about aquí ahora or here now.
Would you do it again?
Yeah.
Would you take us with you?
I'm actually gonna do it again because I had it, I felt it, and it's scary. I don't recommend it to anybody, but when you do it, it almost like to me it left a little more questions. So I'm excited to do it a second time, to see where it brings me. You know what I'm saying? Because I went back and I reconnected with my mom. I talked to her. I was just like, I didn't tell her I did all that, but you know what I'm saying? She gets scared. But, I'm excited to see what else it could pull, man. Like it sounds like completely crazy and people may call it a drug, man, but it's an actual medicine. It's a medicine that just brings out like the biggest insecurities or the biggest passions or whatever. I think it's different for everybody, man. So, if you guys get a chance, man, I think you got to be ready for it. You got to be prepared for it. And I think for me, once I was retired and Mike's been talking to me about it for about a year, I finally caved in. I did it, and I became.
Your headspace was right.
Yeah. Mike took you under his wing. You should probably take us under your wing if we're ever going to do this. Listen, people also searching for answers are your fans. So here's the question. What's going to happen first? You go back to UFC and fight Alex Volkanovski. You go to boxing. You come out of retirement to face Ryan Garcia. Or you actually stay retired?
I like them all, man. I like them all. I wouldn't be mad if I just stay retired, never fight Alexander Volkanovski or Ryan Garcia. But the fight that really tugs at me, the one that I really want, the easiest money and the biggest money, is with the Golden Girl, Ryan Garcia. So Ryan Garcia, if you are watching this, since you can't speak Spanish, answer the call, man, and sign the damn contract. Little Golden Girl.
Well, there you have it. There you have it. Ryan Garcia signed the contract. Hey, I want to actually ask you. Lately, we've been seeing on your social media. We know you're a big professional wrestling fan. We've been seeing you dabbling in this a bit. Is there any chance of Henry Cejudo actually making a debut somewhere like the WWE?
Yeah, stay tuned, man. There's a lot of things that I'm like an onion, man. There's just different layers to me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a conqueror, bro. I love to conquer. I love to, I can't just do one thing and continue to keep staying motivated. It's like, no, dude. Olympics, UFC, possibly boxing, and who knows, man? Possibly in the future, possibly the AEW or the WWE, man. I know I spoke to Triple H. We FaceTime with each other maybe about 3 weeks ago with Mike Tyson's agent, Rob Hickman.
Wow.
And he had mentioned, hey, man, let's get something together. And I said, let's do it, man.
Hunter Hearst Helmsley, he FaceTimed with you and mentioned that he wants you in the WWE.
Well, he mentioned that he would, we could do something. So I don't know exactly what that means, but I imagine that Triple H wants a little bit of Triple C.
Oh, I love that. That's hard to top. Hey, listen, we've taken much of your time unless Herc has another question.
I just one. Obviously, you're very well spoken and you're bilingual. Any chance we see you next to your boy Dominick Cruz in the commentary booth?
Yeah, I don't. Maybe. John Anik and even Daniel Cormier, they both who are analysts are like, Henry, you belong on camera, man. You belong commentating, man. I'm just like, man, sometimes I feel like it's my height, man, that kills me. I'm serious, man. Like
look at Mauricio. He's 5'6".
I'm like this.
You're fine, man.
I'm like this.
I'm 6 feet tall. Hey,
so anyways, but I got a better idea for you guys.
All right.
How about we all team up and we do Here and Now with Triple C?
Ahora o nunca, now or never. Ahora o nunca, now or never with Triple C. How does that sound?
Get it, homie.
Yeah, what do you guys think? That's all to you guys.
I love it. We can all flex. You're not the only one who flexes. Herc, flex.
I'm pitting or else I'd flex, bro. No, honestly, I tell you this because you're well spoken, man. You do a good job at this.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. I actually enjoy it too, man. Like I enjoy connecting with people, and there's a lot of plans that I have in the works too. Man. I like to get into real estate, make that happen, and just continue to keep improving as a person, as a human, and business and life and relationships and everything that comes with it.
Let me just plant one more before we let you go. Obviously, this sport is kind of divided by the diehards and then also these casuals, these people who just started tuning in. And UFC, your event, was the very first sporting event in the United States and probably the world that I can remember during this pandemic.
Yep.
You've obviously found a new sense of fame. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I have, man, and I'm very grateful about it because during this whole COVID time, like as you said, Hercules, there's only one sporting event. I happened to be the co-main event to one of them. And it was, I go down the street or whatnot, like, oh my God, that's Triple C, bend the knee. like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's I've been able to build the character, the persona. I'm part of the character. It is me. I'm just elevating it just a tad, just a hair.
Just a hair.
So it's been fun, man. It's been fun to see the excitement of the people. And, I went to a party store to buy balloons and stuff with a buddy of mine here in New Jersey, and man, all the Hispanics, everybody started coming out taking pictures. I had my mask on, they recognized me. It's a trip.
That's amazing.
Hey, former champ, it's great to talk to you, man. As always.
Always champ.
Keep enjoying retirement. You look good.
Don't make me.
You look good. And whenever this whole COVID Corona thing passes, we'll see you in the studio because this has been fun. Really enjoying talking to you. And stay safe out there. All right.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you guys, Mauricio, Hercules. I appreciate you guys, man. You guys continue to keep rocking the show. I'm a big fan, and to all you Triple C haters or lovers, you guys can all do me a favor and bend the knee to King Triple C.
Especially you, Ryan Garcia. You heard it. Ladies and gentlemen, Triple C on Now or Never.